Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Nico and I use he/him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair. I've got blue and brown spectacles, and I'm wearing a green sweater. I'm seated in front of a purple wall and some half-empty bookcases. And like about 20% of the global population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled people might see our lives as tragic, pitiful, sad, but I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time now, and I think disabled joy also exists. In fact, I would feel quite bored if I could only ever feel one emotion, regardless of what that emotion might be. However, the disability community has many members and many opinions, which is why I've asked my friend Zariah here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Zariah, hi, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, excited to be here. I a little bit description about me. I am a Black woman. I'm wearing brown transparent glasses. I have on a sleeveless white t-shirt and I have long faux locks in my hair.
Fantastic. Thank you. Zaria, can you share with me a joyful memory that you have? It could intersect with your disability, or it could be totally independent. Both are valid.
Yeah. Um, I think for me, a joyful moment is actually fairly recent. I went to New York here recently and I got a chance to really kind of live out in this spontaneity life for a few days, outside of the sort of structured life that I have or kind of have to feel like I'm confined to most of the time. And so it just allowed for me to like feel a little bit more free, feel a little bit more just like open to new possibilities and have this sense of like peace and calmness that I don't think I've really had in quite some time.
Fantastic. Thank you. New York is a great place to visit, and I'm biased because it's my home state. So I see you in that. An excellent, excellent, joyful memory. Thank you. How has your disability impacted or interfered with your ability to pursue that happiness or to pursue joy?
Um, I think sometimes, especially in the workplace, it is really hard for me in just terms of the way that I work, the way that I function, and being extremely hard on myself, where like not a lot of people really understanding or getting it. And some people that obviously I don't necessarily always feel comfortable disclosing, what's happening to me. Sometimes people may see it as I'm not being a hard worker or like I'm not trying, as hard. Um, and so for me, like part of it is like I have memory loss too. And so that's a big factor in like um feeling like maybe I can't complete a task on time or like not fully remembering, the various tasks that I can do and getting extremely like overwhelmed. And so anxiety kind of playing into that factor too for me. And sometimes it does affect the way that I move through life, similar to like the New York story that I just mentioned. Like I normally have a very structured life that oftentimes does not get a chance to really deviate from the bubble that I'm in or have to be kind of confined into. And so I think a lot of times it's really like outside factors of me being disabled that affect the joy that I have. And then also, having those good and bad days of like not always feeling fully up to myself and not always feeling like I'm good enough to achieve certain things because of it.
Yeah. I think that was really insightful. And you also touched on a really common theme that I'm hearing as I conduct these interviews, which is that our disabilities by themselves are fairly manageable and don't really interfere with our quality of life, but it's those barriers to entry it's that disability tax that we pay that does interfere, right?
Yeah.
For example, I have fairly high like medical equipment costs, and that comes out to $200 a month. And I try not to think about what I could do with that 200 month after month if I didn't have to pay that disability tax, right?
Yeah.
And we pay
Yeah.
it financially in terms of energy, in terms of other factors as well.
Mhm.
I see you in that. Zaria, what one thing, if you could like pinpoint one thing, what one thing do you want people to know about disabled life or disabled quality of life?
Um, that were literally just people.
Okay.
A lot of times, well, literally just people in the sense of like a lot of times, I mean, we have unique needs. We have various different needs, just like everyone else. And I think a lot of times people see us as different people. And it definitely shows in the way people treat us and the way that, especially as an adult, right? You feel like you have to be coddled. And it's like, I'm still an adult, a functioning adult, just like everyone else. And
Yeah.
I I want people to see the value in who we are as people and to really humanize us. And sometimes it's very hard for people to really understand or grasp, especially if they don't have, our disability. And mine is more invisible. So it's like you can't really see it. They kind of just think like, oh, I'm just there's nothing wrong with me necessarily. And because there's nothing physical that you can see. Um, and so really acknowledging the importance of like invisible disabilities just as much as the visible disabilities.
I love it. As someone whose disability is most often invisible, I see you in that, and I value the words you put to those emotions, right? We're not living on a different planet. We're not living underground. We live amongst non-disabled people pretty much
Yeah.
24/7, and 24/7 we pretty much have like 95% of the same goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. It's not like xenobiology over here. I appreciate that. Zaria, my last planned question is one that I ask everyone, regardless of my projects. But is there a recent win that you're celebrating, aside from the New York trip, that we could help celebrate with you? Or if not, what cool stuff are you up to? What are you doing? Where can people find you online? This is really your opportunity to like promote yourself, cheerlead yourself. So go all out. This is your soapbox.
I would say definitely, finding me on LinkedIn to see all of the work that I'm doing. And I would say here recently, something that just came out, of course, GAD, Global Accessibility Awareness Day, was yesterday. And so I actually got to get an article published on what we're doing at our company for GAD, and being able to show the work that we're doing and how we're really trying to humanize the approach of how we're incorporating people with disabilities within our work, and how we're trying to really incorporate, like I said, people with invisible and visible disabilities. So really excited that that just came out, and to really just bring more awareness and education to people that aren't aware of GAD, or just, the awareness of disabilities overall.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank you for your work in the accessibility space. User experience is a very fascinating field. All right, Zaria, I'm wishing you the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Of course. Random audience members, tune in next time, and remember, I'm rooting for you.